According to a recent study by Bankrate, 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And here's what's crazy. That includes people making over $100,000 a year. But here's the part that'll blow your mind. While the majority is struggling, the top 10% are quietly building wealth faster than ever before. And no, it's not because they work 3 jobs, or because they came from money, or because they got lucky with crypto. No. It's something completely different. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah worked as a nurse for 12 years. She was making decent money, around $68,000 a year. She paid her bills on time, had a little savings, lived responsibly. But every year felt exactly the same. Her bank account in 2023 looked identical to 2018. She felt like she was running on a hamster wheel, working harder and harder but getting absolutely nowhere. Then one random Tuesday, her car got totaled. Insurance covered most of it, but she still needed $3,000 out of pocket for a down payment on a new one, and she didn't have it. She had to put it on a credit card. That's when it hit her. I've been working for over a decade and I have nothing to show for it. She felt trapped. Every month, money came in from her job. Every month, it all went right back out. Rent, bills, groceries, gas, repeat. She wasn't broke, but she definitely wasn't building anything. And worst of all, she realized if she stopped working, everything would collapse within 60 days. This is the trap that Robert Kiyosaki warned us about decades ago in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that financial experts keep screaming about. The myth that trading your time for a paycheck is the path to wealth. The real secret? Rich people don't just work for money. They build assets that generate money for them, 24/7, whether they're awake or asleep, working or on vacation. Stick with me, because I'm about to reveal 8 powerful assets that can completely transform your financial life in 2026 and beyond. These aren't get-rich-quick schemes. These are the exact same wealth-building tools the top 1% have been using for decades, while the rest of us were told to just work hard and save. The big lie, keeping you broke. So here's the lie they've been feeding us since kindergarten. Go to school, get good grades, get a good job, work hard for 40 years, save 10%, retire at 65. That's the American dream, right? Except it's broken, completely shattered. You know what happens when you follow that advice? You become Sarah. You trade the best hours of your life, the best years of your health, for a paycheck that disappears the moment it hits your account. You're not building wealth. You're just renting your life from your employer, hoping they don't cancel the lease. Let's go back to Sarah for a second. She thought she was doing everything right. She wasn't blowing money on designer bags or fancy vacations. She was responsible. But responsibility without strategy is just survival. And survival isn't wealth. See, Sarah was stuck in what financial experts call the active income trap. She was trading hours for dollars. And the problem with that? There's a hard ceiling on how many hours you can work. You only have 24 hours in a day. You can't clone yourself. You can't work 200 hours a week. But here's what the wealthy figured out centuries ago. Assets don't have that limitation. A rental property collects rent while you sleep. A business serves customers while you're on vacation. Investments compound while you're binge-watching Netflix. That's the difference. Poor and middle-class people work for money. Wealthy people have money working for them. And no, you don't need to be born rich to do this. You just need to know what assets to build. Don't worry, I'm about to show you exactly which ones. The wealth formula nobody teaches, simple, memorable framework. Alright, let me break down the exact formula wealthy people use, and I promise you, it's simpler than you think. There are really only 3 ways to make money in this world. Way number 1, you trade time for money. This is what 95% of people do. You show up, you work, you get paid. Doctor, teacher, lawyer, engineer, doesn't matter. If you don't show up, you don't get paid. This is called active income. And it's a trap because your income is capped by time. Way number 2, money works for you. This is where investments come in. You put money into stocks, real estate, or businesses, and that money generates returns. Your initial capital is out there grinding 24/7. This is passive income, and it's how the middle class starts climbing toward wealth. Way number 3, you build systems that print money. This is the ultimate level. You create or own something, a business, an online platform, intellectual property that generates income whether you're involved or not. This is leveraged income, and it's how billionaires are made. Now here's the kicker. Poor people only know about way number 1. They think working harder is the answer. Middle-class people dabble in way number 2. Maybe they've got a 401k or some index funds. But wealthy people? They're stacking all 3 simultaneously. That's the formula. Active income, passive income, leveraged income. You use active income to fund passive income. Then you use passive income to fund leveraged income. Each level multiplies your earning potential without multiplying your working hours. And the vehicle that gets you there? Assets. So let me ask you, which way are you stuck in right now? Because if you're only playing at level 1, you're going to stay broke no matter how hard you hustle. Let's fix that. Here are the 8 assets you need to start building in 2026. Asset number 1, a scalable business, emotional payoff. Let's start with the big one, a business. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, I'm not an entrepreneur, hear me out. Because this isn't about becoming the next Elon Musk. This is about creating something that generates income without requiring you to physically trade hours for dollars. Think about this. When you work a job, you're building someone else's asset. Your boss owns the business. You're just renting out your time and skills. Every hour you work, they profit, you get a fixed salary, they get the upside. But when you own a business, even a small one, you flip that equation. Now you're the one benefiting from leverage. You can hire people. You can automate processes. You can serve customers while you're sleeping. Let me give you a real example. Meet Jake. Jake was a graphic designer making $50K a year working for an agency. He was good at his job, but he was stuck. No matter how many hours he worked, his paycheck stayed the same. Then he started freelancing on the side just a few hours a week. Within 2 years, he turned that side hustle into a design studio with 3 employees. Now, his business generates $300K a year, and he only works about 20 hours a week because his team handles most of the work. That's the power of a scalable business. You build it once, and it keeps paying you. And in 2026, starting a business has never been easier. You don't need a storefront. You don't need massive upfront capital. You can start an e-commerce store, a digital agency, a consulting practice, a YouTube channel, a SaaS product, all from your laptop. The key word here is scalable. You're not just trading time for money under a different title. You're building systems, hiring help, and creating something that can grow beyond you. Here's the bottom line. A job gives you income. A business gives you equity, freedom, and unlimited upside. Asset number 2, income-producing real estate. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Real estate, I can barely afford rent. How am I supposed to buy property? Fair, I get it. Real estate feels out of reach for most people. But here's the truth. Real estate is one of the most accessible wealth-building tools on the planet, and it's been making ordinary people rich for centuries. Here's why. Real estate lets you use leverage. That means you can control a $300,000 asset with just $60,000 down, or even less. The bank loans you the rest. And here's the beautiful part. Your tenants pay off that loan for you. Let me paint a picture. You buy a small duplex for $250,000. You put down $50,000. You rent out both units for a total of $2,500 a month. Your mortgage, taxes, and insurance cost you $2,000 a month. You're cash flowing $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year in passive income. But it gets better. Every month, your tenants are paying down the mortgage, you're building equity, the property is likely appreciating in value, and you're getting tax deductions. 10 years later, that property could be worth $350,000, and you've paid down $80,000 of the mortgage. You've made $100,000 in appreciation, plus $80,000 in equity, plus $60,000 in cash flow. That's $240,000 in wealth from a $50,000 investment. And you barely did anything except find good tenants and maintain the property. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Real estate takes research, patience, and some upfront capital. But here's the thing, it's predictable. Unlike stocks that swing wildly, real estate is steady. People will always need a place to live. And if you don't have $50,000 sitting around, start small. House hack, rent out a room in your home. Buy a small condo and rent it on Airbnb. Partner with someone who has capital. Get creative. The point is this. Real estate turns you from a renter of life into an owner of assets, and owners build wealth. Renters don't. Asset number 3, stock market and index funds. Let's talk about paper assets. Stocks, index funds, ETFs, the stuff that sounds boring but quietly makes millionaires. Here's the truth most people don't realize. You don't need to be a Wall Street genius to make money in the stock market. In fact, trying to be a genius usually backfires. The average investor who picks individual stocks, they underperform the market. You know who beats them? The person who just buys an index fund and forgets about it. Let me explain. An index fund is like buying a tiny piece of the entire stock market. Instead of betting on one company, you're betting on the economy as a whole. And historically, the S&P 500 returns about 10% per year on average. So, let's do the math. If you invest $500 a month into an index fund starting at age 25, and you do that for 40 years, with a 10% average return, you'll have about $3.2 million by age 65. Let me say that again. $3.2 million from just $500 a month. You didn't have to time the market. You didn't have to pick the next Apple or Tesla. You just consistently put money in and let compound interest do the heavy lifting. Now, if you wait until you're 35 to start, you'll have about $1 million. Still good, but you just lost $2.2 million by waiting 10 years. That's the cost of delay. Here's the thing, the stock market rewards patience, not timing. It rewards consistency, not cleverness. And in 2026, investing has never been easier. You can open a brokerage account on your phone in 5 minutes. You can automate contributions. You can start with as little as $50. The only thing standing between you and wealth is the decision to start. So ask yourself, Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to start building your future today? Asset number 4. Digital assets and online businesses. We're living in the golden age of digital wealth, and most people are completely missing it. Right now in 2026, you can build an asset that reaches 1 billion people with zero physical infrastructure. No storefront, no warehouse, no employees, just you, a laptop, and an idea. I'm talking about digital assets, YouTube channels, online courses, ebooks, SaaS products, affiliate websites, digital art, membership sites. These assets have something physical assets don't. Infinite scalability. If you own a restaurant, you can serve maybe 100 people a day. If you create an online course, you can serve 100,000 people without breaking a sweat. One video can be watched 1 million times. One ebook can be sold forever. Let me give you a wild example. There's a guy named Ali Abdaal. He was a doctor in the UK. He started making YouTube videos about productivity and studying. Today, his channel makes him over $4 million a year. From videos, content he created once that keeps paying him over and over. Or take Sahil Bloom. He started writing threads on Twitter in 2020. Within 2 years, he had a newsletter with 500,000 subscribers, a multi-million-dollar business, and complete time freedom. These aren't anomalies. This is the new playbook. You don't need to be famous. You don't need millions of followers. You just need to provide value to a specific audience consistently over time. Here's what makes digital assets so powerful in 2026. Low startup costs. You can start for under $100. Global reach. Your market isn't your city, it's the world. Passive income. Create it once, earn forever. Ownership. You own 100% of it. No investors, no partners. And the best part, you can start today. Right now. Not someday. Today. Pick a skill you have. Teach it. Document your journey. Solve a problem. Build an audience. The internet rewards value, and if you're not building a digital asset in 2026, you're leaving millions on the table. Asset number 5, your skill set and personal brand. Here's an asset most people don't even realize they have. Themselves. Your skills, your knowledge, your reputation, these are worth more than you think. In the old economy, you were just a cog in a machine. You did your job, collected your paycheck, and went home. Your value was tied to your employer. But in the new economy, you are the product. Let me explain. A personal brand is your reputation at scale. It's what people think of when they hear your name. And in 2026, your personal brand can be worth millions. Look at people like Tim Ferriss, Naval Ravikant, or Sahil Bloom. They're not just entrepreneurs, they're trusted voices. Their names open doors. Their opinions carry weight. Their recommendations drive sales. And you don't need to be famous to benefit from this. When you build a strong personal brand, opportunities come to you. People want to hire you, they want to work with you, they trust you. That trust is an asset. Here's how you build it. Be excellent at something. Pick a skill, master it, become the go-to person in your circle. Share what you know. Write, post, teach, give away value freely. Be consistent, show up every day. Build trust over time. Be authentic. People connect with humans, not polished robots. Your personal brand compounds just like money. Every post, every connection, every piece of value you share adds up, and one day you wake up and realize your name is worth something. That's when opportunities multiply. Speaking gigs, consulting offers, partnership deals, book deals, opportunities you never even applied for. Invest in yourself. Build your brand. It's the one asset nobody can take from you. Asset number 6, high-yield knowledge education. Let's talk about something controversial. Most education is a waste of money. I'm not talking about literacy or basic math. I'm talking about spending $100,000 on a degree that leads to a $40,000 job. That's not an investment. That's financial suicide. But here's the flip side. The right education is the highest ROI investment you'll ever make. Let me break this down. If you spend $2,000 on a course that teaches you how to run Facebook ads and you use that skill to land clients paying you $5,000 a month, you've just 30x'd your investment in 1 year. If you spend $500 on books about real estate investing and you use that knowledge to buy your first rental property that cash flows $500 a month, you've turned $500 into an infinite return. That's high-yield knowledge. Knowledge that directly generates income. Warren Buffett once said, "The best investment you can make is in yourself." And he's right. The skills you learn, the knowledge you acquire, these compound over your entire lifetime. Here's what you should be learning in 2026. Sales and marketing. Every business needs customers. Learn how to attract them. Finance and investing. Understand how money actually works. Digital skills. Coding, design, video editing, these skills are gold mines. Copywriting. Words that sell are worth their weight in gold. Negotiation. Every raise, every deal, every partnership involves negotiation. The internet has made knowledge almost free. You can learn anything on YouTube, Udemy, Coursera, even Twitter. The only barrier is your willingness to learn. So stop binge watching Netflix and start binge learning skills that pay. Because in 2026, your earning potential isn't determined by your diploma. It's determined by what you know and what you can do. Invest in your brain. It's the one asset that appreciates forever. Asset number 7, your network and relationships. Tell a story. Here's something they don't teach you in school. Your network is your net worth. Sounds cliche, I know, but it's painfully true. Let me tell you about David. David worked in tech sales. He was good at his job, made decent money, but he felt stuck. Then one day, at a random conference, he met a guy named Tom. They grabbed coffee. They stayed in touch. 6 months later, Tom started a company and needed a head of sales. He called David. David got a $150K job with equity just because of one coffee conversation. That relationship changed his life. Now, I'm not saying networking is about using people. It's the opposite. It's about building genuine relationships, adding value, and showing up. Here's the truth. Every opportunity you'll ever have will come through a person. That job, someone referred you. That investment, someone introduced you to the deal. That client, someone vouched for you. Opportunities don't come from resumes or cold emails. They come from trust. And trust is built through relationships. Here's how to build a powerful network in 2026. Add value first. Don't just take. Give. Help people without expecting anything back. Be memorable. Follow up. Stay in touch. Send a message when you see something that reminds you of them. Go where the opportunities are. Conferences, masterminds, online communities. Get in rooms with people ahead of you. Build a reputation. When people think of you, what comes to mind? Be known for something. And here's the secret. Your network isn't about quantity. It's about quality. 5 deep relationships are worth more than 500 shallow connections. Your network is an asset that grows in value the more you invest in it. Don't sleep on this. In 2026, the people you know will be just as valuable as the skills you have. Asset number 8, time and health. The ultimate leverage. Let me hit you with something heavy. You can lose all your money and make it back. You can lose your job and find another one. You can lose your house and rebuild. But you know what you can't get back? Time and health. These are the two assets that matter more than anything else on this list, and most people are trading them away for money. Let's talk about time first. You've got maybe 4,000 weeks on this planet if you're lucky. Right now, you've already used up a chunk of that. Every week you waste is gone. Forever. And here's what's wild. Most people treat time like it's infinite. They say, I'll start next year, or I'll invest when I'm older, or I'll travel when I retire. But the math doesn't lie. $1 invested at 25 is worth way more than $1 invested at 45 because of compound interest. A skill learned at 30 pays dividends for 30 plus years. Time is leverage. The earlier you start, the bigger the payoff. Now let's talk about health. What's the point of being rich if you're too sick to enjoy it? I see it all the time. People grinding 80-hour weeks, eating garbage, skipping workouts, sleeping 4 hours a night, all to make money. Then they hit 50 and spend half their wealth on medical bills and medications. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through life. If it breaks down, nothing else matters. Here's what you need to understand. Health isn't just physical. It's mental, emotional, and spiritual. A clear mind makes better decisions. A strong body has more energy. A peaceful spirit handles stress better. And all of that impacts your ability to build wealth. So here's my challenge to you in 2026. Treat your time like it's scarce. Because it is. Say no to things that don't matter. Say yes to things that compound. Invest in your health. Work out. Eat real food, sleep 8 hours, meditate, therapy, whatever it takes. Because at the end of the day, wealth without health is just a fancy prison, and money without time is just a number on a screen. These are the ultimate assets. Protect them. The 7-step action plan to build these assets in 2026. All right, if you've made it this far, you're serious. So let me give you a step-by-step action plan to start building these assets right now. Not next month, not next year, today. Step 1. Audit your current situation. Sit down and honestly assess where you are. What assets do you already have? What's your income, your expenses, your debts? You can't improve what you don't measure. Get clear on your starting point. Step 2. Pick one asset to focus on. Don't try to do everything at once. That's how you fail. Pick one asset from this list that resonates with you. Maybe it's starting a side business. Maybe it's investing in index funds. Maybe it's building a personal brand. Pick one. Master it. Then move to the next. Step 3. Set a 90-day goal. What can you accomplish in 90 days? Not become a millionaire. Be realistic. Maybe it's save $3,000 for a down payment, or launch my first digital product, or publish 12 YouTube videos. Make it specific. Make it measurable. Step 4. Reverse engineer the steps. Break your goal into weekly actions. If you need to save $3,000 in 90 days, that's $250 a week. How do you get $250? Cut expenses, pick up freelance work, sell stuff, break it down until it's doable. Step 5. Automate and systematize whatever you're building. Create systems. Automate your savings. Batch your content. Schedule your workouts. Remove willpower from the equation. Make progress automatic. Step 6. Track your progress. Weekly every Sunday, review your week. What worked? What didn't? What needs to change? Adjust and keep moving. Progress isn't linear, but it should be consistent. Step 7. Stack assets over time. Once you've built one asset, start building the next. Use income from your side business to invest in real estate. Use profits from real estate to buy stocks. Use your personal brand to launch a digital product. Stack them. Each one amplifies the others. This isn't theory. This is the exact playbook wealthy people use. And now you have it. Closing. Your move. So let's bring it all together. You now know the 8 assets that can change your financial life. A scalable business, income-producing real estate, stock market and index funds, digital assets and online businesses, your skill set and personal brand, high-yield knowledge and education, your network and relationships, time and health. You know why most people stay broke. You know how the wealthy actually build wealth, and you know the exact steps to start building these assets yourself. Now here's the million-dollar question. What are you going to do about it? Because knowledge without action is just entertainment. You can watch this video, nod along, feel inspired for 20 minutes, and then do nothing. And if that's what you do, nothing in your life will change. Or you can make a different choice. You can pick one asset. You can take one action today. You can start building your future right now. Maybe you open that brokerage account and invest your first $100. Maybe you film your first YouTube video. Maybe you research your first rental property. Maybe you reach out to someone in your network. Whatever it is, do something. Because a year from now, you're either going to wish you had started today, or you're going to be thanking yourself for starting today. The choice is yours. If this video gave you value, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me which asset you're going to build first. I read every single one. This is your year. 2026 is the year you stop trading time for money and start building assets that work for you. Let's get it. Which asset are you building first? Drop a number 18 below and let's hold each other accountable. Also, if you want the full breakdown with timestamps and resources, check the description. Let's build wealth together.